Hey guys, welcome back to a new episode of Platonic. We are with Kingston here, and as you saw, there was a little bit of a text exchange, and Jane is actually coming over this morning. Now, it is Saturday. It is the first day of spring. Like, thank goodness, we are done with winter. She actually might be at the door. Hello? Where did she go? Nope, she's not over yet. But anyway, Jane is coming over today, and Kingston is feeling super nervous. So where we left off, they had a little snuggle session, if you will, that was kind of entirely impromptu, kind of totally out of the blue, and they essentially haven't talked about it at all. But for Kingston, something just completely snapped in his head, and he kind of had to come to the realization. He's trying to like psych himself up right now, and he's just like, oh no, like I have feelings for this woman. Like I really do. I have feelings for her. I don't catch feelings. Like, that's not part of my thing, man. Like, I just don't catch feelings. I might do casual relationships, but, you know, I'm not really a relationship kind of guy. So what is going on? And what did he do? As you saw right in the beginning, because it's right here and I just need to show you again. It's the day after Love Day. Okay, we missed it. We did. We missed Love Day. And honestly, Kingston didn't want any kind of grand gesture or anything like that. He thought it would scare Jane the heck away. And honestly, it would kind of scare him. Like, he'd probably psych himself out of it. But anyway, he didn't want to do like this big thing on Love Day. So it is the day after. And this is actually, just so you know, this is a mod by Ravisheen. And it is a little like Love Day letter. It's a separated card, like the ones that you can make in Seasons, which is really fun, or the decorative ones from Seasons. There's this right here, Daily Affirmation. I don't exactly know what it does. My sim didn't get a moodlet. Maybe I messed something up. Don't really care. Doesn't matter. It's really cute, and you can place it as an individual letter. And yeah, so he got her just like this cute little card. He didn't make it an actual romantic card. So even though it's got little hearts on it, it's basically like a I love you for being a friend type of card. He didn't want, again, to scare her off. And he bought her a candle. He remembered that he had gotten that candle from the little like table at the park or whatever, and he had gotten that candle and never used it, and he was like, oh, maybe Jane would like it. He didn't have time to like run out and get a gift in between games and practice and all this stuff. But what he decided to do was invite her over and give her coffee and breakfast. So he is just waiting for her to show up, and in fact, it's gonna be a little nudge here just in case she forgot. Says she's here somewhere. We'll find her. She was here. Okay. But he's like, hey, good morning. How are you? And she's like, I'm great. Good morning to you too. And she takes a look at the table and she just says, Kingston, did you make this for me? He's like, yeah, of course I did. I just wanted to express, how much our friendship matters to me, and I just really, appreciate having someone right next door that I can depend on. And she's like, I think I should be saying that, don't you? And he's like, well, I mean, touche, but it's nice that I can depend on you as well. It's been really nice to have the company lately, and I realize I really missed it. I don't really hang out with too many people, and I'm always on the road, playing games or whatever. And she's like, Kingston, like, what am I gonna do with you? You need to get out there. You'd make some lady so lucky. He's like, I don't know about that. Just read your card, girl. Like, just read your card. Also, ignore Knox at the door. It's fine. He'll go away. But she read the card and she was just like, that's really sweet. I appreciate you too, and I don't express it enough. He's like, yeah, you do. I mean, you really do. And she's like, I don't feel like I don't express it enough, but thank you so much for all you do for me and Felix. And this candle, it's so pretty. He's like, it's not much. A local artist was selling them down at the park, and I just thought of you, and I thought you might like it. And she's like, I love candles. This is perfect. Jane is so freaking nice. She was so appreciative of Kingston making coffee and breakfast, even though she was like, it's just fruit salad, but I don't know how you did it. That was like the best fruit salad I've ever had in my entire life. And he was like, well, you're taking that sack lunch with you. Like, you're going to take that with you. Then take some of it home, have it later, take it with you for like in between classes or something. Do whatever you got to do. It's all yours. And she's like, why, like, how did I get so lucky to have such a cool freaking neighbor? And he's like, I have been asking myself the same question. And if you're wondering where Felix is, because elephant in the room, the baby isn't here. He is still sleeping. He's actually having his like mid-morning nap. So Jane is actually just going to tell Kingston, like, I really appreciate this, but yeah, I've got to get back over the baby monitor. I think he's kind of stirring, so I just want to make sure that he's okay. Are you still going to be able to, watch him in the next like day or two? Kingston's like, you bet. We'll keep our regular schedule. Don't worry about that. Oh, and look, Kingston really enjoyed hearing Jane talk about her interest just now. It can be endearing when another sim gushes about something they're passionate about. Does he like discussing interests? Yes, I think he does. Since Felix has woken up from his nap, Jane has to say her goodbyes, but Kingston just gives her a quick hug and he's like, wait 1 minute, I've got one more thing. And he got her a little tulip because he's a sweet baby angel. Now, just a little bit of context too. He was thinking, he's like, oh man, do I get a girl flowers without scaring her off, basically? And he was looking at flowers, and if you didn't know, actually, this is really poor storytelling on my part, because I didn't even explain why Knox was over. Knox was over because he's actually Kingston's like best friend from childhood. We're going to be seeing Knox a little bit later this episode, so I didn't really introduce him because he wasn't supposed to be there. Anyway, he was talking to Knox, and he was like, what do I get this woman without it being this huge romantic gesture? He's like, do I just get her like a single rose? And Knox was like, no, dude, like don't get a rose at all. Get a flower totally not associated with Love Day, and just get her a single flower and just be like, surprise, like do something kind of small. So he got her this little tulip, and she seems to be very, very happy with it. She's like, if I didn't know better, Kingston Cameron, I would say that you're flirting with me. And he's just like, what makes you say that? Kingston has decided to hit up the gym with Knox. Now, like I said, they were going to get together later today. We're kind of running out of daytime, so they had to go ahead and hit up the gym every Saturday. If Kingston doesn't have a game or a regular training session, him and Knox hit up the gym and just kind of catch up. It's always been their thing, though Knox usually spends most of his time doing cardio. Kingston's the one that hits the weights, so they kind of have to balance things out. But this beautiful gym, I completely misplaced the gallery ID. I couldn't find it in my library because I didn't save it, like a complete silly goose. That's what I'm going to call myself. Anyway, I didn't save it, so please, 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 if you recognize who this build is by, if you find it on the gallery, like drop their ID below. It's gorgeous. I think I looked up Eco Gym and I wasn't able to find it again, and I was so bummed, but it's a really beautiful lot. So to whomever made this, please, if you see this, let me know. I love it. There's a yoga studio upstairs. There's rock climbing walls. You've got your weightlifting equipment, all that stuff. You got the bathrooms down here. I might even add a sauna at some point just to spice things up a little bit. But yes, we are here with Kingston and Knox, who was really hating the eco footprint in this neighborhood, by the way. And now let's kind of explore, I suppose, their relationship. Because like I mentioned, they have been best friends ever since high school, and they're kind of like, I don't know if I would consider them an unconventional pair, I suppose. Like, I don't know. Maybe they kind of are, maybe they kind of aren't. Maybe I'm talking out of turn. I don't know. But Knox has always been very, very much so into, eco lifestyle and recycling and trying to reduce his eco footprint. And he was in, the conservation club in high school and stuff like that. Whereas Kingston was constantly playing hockey. He was friends with a lot of like the jocks and stuff. They just weren't in the same circle of friends. But at some point they had met and they just ended up clicking, and they have been like basically best buds ever since. And even as Kingston has gone pro and his life has drastically changed from when they were younger, and Knox, of course, has really, made his mark, I suppose, as well in Evergreen Harbor with all of the conservation things that he wants to do and all of the changes he wants to make. They've remained really, really close, which I think is something really special, and especially to Kingston. It's like really special to Kingston because what I was trying to say is Kingston is just grateful to have a lifelong friend like Knox. Also, Knox joined this yoga class, and Kingston was like, yoga's not really my thing, but I suppose I could use it to get a little bit more flexible, especially with being on the ice so much and all the maneuvers I'm trying to do. So he decided to come up here. He wasn't able to join the class, but he's just sitting there trying to follow some of these moves. Kingston is not big on yoga, but he might have to actually pick it up. I mean, he's strong enough, but again, I think the flexibility and stuff like that could be really beneficial to his game. So maybe that's something he'll pick up. Knox has been trying to get him to do yoga with him for so long, and he's always resisted it. But this is the one time he's finally like, all right, dude, fine. I'll try it. We'll see if I like it. And after the gym, these two besties decided to go to the local cafe. So even though this is a pre-workout shot, Kingston got a little bit of an espresso going on here. And Knox is just in kind of a crabby mood where he's like, dude, like, what is going on? Like, why are you so freaking crabby today? He's like, I don't know, man. Like, this town, like, they just really don't want to make this place green. It's just really getting on my nerves. And Kingston's like, you've got the passion for it. Come on. You've made a lot of changes already. You can do it, man. He's like, I know. It's driving me kind of nuts. I don't know what to say about it. And he's like, look at his fist. He's so angry. Like, all right, well, what do you need to talk about, man? He's like, look, you know that woman that I've been helping her out with her kid, and I don't know, just things are tight for her, and I've just been trying to lend a helping hand. He's like, yeah, I know, like the woman that you're basically crazy about. He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, come on, Kingston, I know you. Like, even though you're not a relationship guy, or at least you say you're not a relationship guy, you feel deeply for people, and you do good things for people. Why else would you be helping her out? Like, you clearly have a thing for her. And he's just like, well, this is kind of something I needed to talk to you about. I got her a card for after Love Day. I didn't want to give it to her on Love Day. I know we talked about it. I got her a tulip. I didn't get her a rose. And she just thanked me for it. And that's it. He's like, well, what do I do after that? Like, now what do I do? He's like, well, what do you mean? What do you do? Just keep getting to know her? Like, I don't know. Like, what do you want me to say? He's like, I don't know what you want me to say, man. I don't really know. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna throw something out quick. And Kingston's just like, like, what does this mean? What do I do? Help. Anyway, they wouldn't stay seated. They wouldn't continue talking. So, that's so nice. Actually, he got a sentiment with Knox. He's like, you're so fun to be around. I really enjoy spending time with you, and I hope you feel that way about me too. That's sweet. They are best friends, so it's about time they got something like that. But they're just going to say their goodbyes. They hung out pretty much all day. They spent like hours at this coffee shop just kind of talking, and Kingston was just like, I needed advice, you know? I just needed advice. So thank you for that advice. And that's pretty much where he's going to leave it. And actually, he said he was going to pop by Jane's this evening and just say hello to Felix, because he's gotten really accustomed to seeing him every day. And he's just like, look, when I get back, can I just like pop by and see the little guy really quick? And Jane's like, of course, you don't even have to ask, just come on over. So Kingston just popped over, and Jane just like kind of pushed him right out the door, and she was like, wait, I need to talk to you about something really quick. Felix is already asleep. Can we just chat? And Kingston was like really kind of thrown off by that. He was like, sure, what's going on? Like, what do you need to talk about? She's like, the card and the candle. What did that mean? And he kind of freezes. He's like, it didn't have to mean anything. What did you think it meant? And she's just like, I don't know. I need you to tell me if it meant something to you first. Please just tell me. And he's kind of squirming a bit, and he's like, I really care about you, and you've become really important to me, and so is Felix, and I just wanted to express that in a different way, I guess. And she's like, Kingston, do you want to be more than this? And he's just like, Jane, I'm not the relationship type, you know. I'm not any good at it. I'm never here, you know. She's like, what do you mean you're never here? You're always here. You're literally always here. Of course, he's gonna autonomously blow a kiss. This is not working for me. She's just like, Kingston, if it meant something to you, like, please just tell me. He's like, it did, but it doesn't have to mean the same for you if that's not what you want. If you're not interested in that, like, it doesn't have to be anything. It doesn't change the fact that I'm there for you and Felix, and I want to, you know, keep helping you out if that's what you need. I don't want to ruin this. You know, I don't want to ruin whatever the heck this is. It doesn't have to be anything if you don't want it to be. And she finally cuts him off, and she's like, Kingston, kiss me. He's like, what do you, really? Why? She's like, just do it. We're not going to know if you don't do it. Well, that was a turn of events, was it not? Kingston is back home, and he looks a little, I don't know, little love-struck, little dumbstruck, I don't know, like kind of both. He's like, what the heck just happened? Essentially, they just had that super passionate kiss, which was probably like the best kiss of his entire life. Actually saying stronger feelings from kissing, despite the awkward start. That kiss was a total success. He's feeling closer than ever to Jane at this point. And I think he's just like, I don't know what this means. Like, I know what it means, but I don't know what this actually means for us, because essentially Jane broke the kiss away. She literally gave his hand just a quick squeeze, and then she just went inside her apartment and just closed the door. And that was it. Like, he didn't even get to go in and like say goodnight to Felix or anything. And he was just left with his jaw just like hanging open, not knowing what the heck to do. Like, this is the face of a man. I mean, he looks pretty confident, but I'll also say that he's, I think, a little bit confused. He's just thinking, like, does she have feelings for me too? Like, did she feel what I felt when we just shared that kiss? Because that was easily like the greatest kiss of my entire life. And he feels out of control at the moment. He's like, this woman is right next door. We need to talk about this. We didn't talk about when we cuddled. And all of a sudden, she's just asking me if the card meant something this morning, and I didn't know what to say. And then she just asked me to kiss her. Like, what does this mean? Where do we go from here? And that is where I'm going to leave this episode. I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Platonic, and I'll catch you next time I post an episode. Bye.